for me, Stuart Skinner is the clear-cut starting goalie for Canada. The last 2 years, there has not been a Canadian goalie that has had a better save percentage and more wins than Stuart Skinner in the NHL. The other thing is, the save percentage for Skinner in the last 2 years is like, I can't remember what it is, whatever it is. He is the best save percentage. His goals against is 2.68 in the last 2 years.
Mhm.
The 4 better goalies better than him. 3 of them are also at 2.68. The other one's Aiden Hill at 2.67. The other one's Laurent Brossoit at 2.05. So, like, he is amongst the best Canadian goalies.
He's on the Four Nations team this year.
He's an absolute lock.
Barring a train wreck start to the season, he is on the team, and if the season goes well, he is the starting goalie for Team Canada.
100%.
And people like, I know Joel says, sorry to catch up, but like Joel says Skinner isn't elite.
I think he is.
And again, like
what is elite? I don't think he is elite either. I think he's great.
But elite is Shesterkin, and Shesterkin's going to get 10. Like, if Swayman is setting the market for good number ones, because I think the tier list kind of goes like, there is elite, there is good to great number ones, and then there is good to great 1As who need someone good behind him. And you can say what you want about Skinner. He has given the Oilers 2 years of good results with nobody behind him.
Yeah.
To put it bluntly, the rotting corpse of Jack Campbell's career and a career AHL guy have been his backups. And I like Pickard and I like the signing, and I think he can be a fine backup for them. That's not the argument I'm getting into here. People are saying he's not great yet. My point is he's given the Oilers 2 years of workhorse number one workloads. Which goalies last year played more games with a save percentage above 900 than Stuart Skinner? Gave you more starts with a save percentage above 900? Bob and Hellebuyck.
I was going to say.
The Cup winner and the Vezina winner.
And the other one that probably would have been up there if he had played the full season would have been Vasilevsky.
Probably.
And they are the 3 highest paid goalies in the NHL.
So again, is Skinner great right now? He's knocking at the door.
Yeah.
He's knocking at the door. And what I laid out was things that are very plausible to happen in the next 10 to 12 months that could push him into that great tier. I think people discount him just because he's an Oiler and just because of the playoff struggles without recognizing his age and the situation he's been thrown into, which is thrust into a number one role at what was 23, 24 years old at the time with no help behind him. Also, again, playoff struggles. Sure, he wasn't good for 3 rounds. But then,
when?
Well, like as in 2 years ago, had a bad round, and then this year he was bad for the first 2 rounds.
No, he was bad for 1 round.
Actually, yeah, you're right. Because LA, he was fine.
Yeah,
and then what did he do?
Win shutout. Yeah.
Nails at the end against Vancouver. Oilers are not moving on if not for Pickard, but Oilers are also not moving on if not for Stuart Skinner.
Yeah.
Nails against Dallas, and nails against. I know that Reinhart goal wasn't good in Game 7, but in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final, he gave up 2 goals. The Oilers should have won that game. The Oilers, 2 goals.
Yeah, I think the start of that Florida series obviously could have been like a little bit better, but also the Oilers just in general were bad. And I find it difficult to put the blame on Skinner for that. I think just collectively as a team, they weren't very good. But I don't know. Like, we got another season. And believe me, like, if Skinner comes out and he's average, then yeah. But like, Skinner was the best goalie in January for this team in the league.
Everyone looks at Jake Oettinger and goes,
so good.
Premier, future Vezina. Oh, great young goalie. He is 47 days younger than Stuart Skinner. He's got a career save percentage in the playoffs of 916 and in the regular season of 913. Stuart Skinner has his career playoffs is very low, 894. Again, that's a blip, but a career regular season save percentage of 910. I don't know, man. I just
and that too in Dallas has had the support.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've had good backups. They're in like a different spot too to what the others are.
Better blue line if we're being blunt.
Yeah. I don't know. Everyone would hand Jake Oettinger a $9 million deal,
and Dallas would be applauded for giving him a $9 million deal. And I get the sense again. I think if Swayman goes 8 by 8.5, I think there are factors that work in the Oilers' favor. Hometown guy, families here, started a family here as well.
It might be like 8.
I think it's 8 by 8.
So looking at around the league, there's only 5 goalies who get paid more than $8 million.
Yeah.
Carey Price is still one of them, the highest paid goalie in the league. Sorokin, 29, in his first year of an 8-year deal. Connor Hellebuck, 31, $8.5 million in the first year. Vasilevsky in his 5th year of the deal, 9.5, 30. And then Bob, the highest paid active goalie, is 10 million in his 6th year of a 7-year deal. I just think you can kind of slot Skinner in there with his age.
Yeah,
the market's going to be set by Swayman. That's what the whole point is of Swayman's holdout. And when's
Swayman talked about the responsibility
summer too.
Yeah, Swayman talked about the responsibility he feels setting the market and being that guy, looking out for his fellow goalies. I think that's why he's pushing so hard. And again, you can sit there and say he's not Skinner. That is not going to be as good as Swayman. So you're not going to give him 8 by 8.5. But Skinner has the option to walk as a UFA. Swayman does not have that option. Like, that is a leverage point that the Bruins have right now. As much as I think they screwed themselves leverage-wise trading Allmark before they had Swayman locked up, and it would have maybe been dirty pool to go to Swayman and be like, hey, here's a 8 by 6. Like, let's go. We're keeping you in Allmark and then trading Allmark. Sure, but you would have gotten the deal done. He's an RFA. He doesn't have rights. Skinner is going to have the ability to test the open market. And Christopher Palmer says, no, the market's going to be set by Igor. Igor's in a world of his own.
It's different. It's like when Draisaitl went for his contract this year. Draisaitl isn't setting the contract standard for
Marner.
They're not on the same wavelength.
No.
It's different. McKinnon set the market for Draisaitl, and Draisaitl maybe helped set the market for another guy who's underrated, Mikko Rantanen. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just don't think it's the same.
Someone said he could sign an offer sheet. But again, not really, because if a team's going to offer sheet him at 8 by 8.5, they're giving up what? How many firsts is that? I don't even know. I don't have the thing in front of me. Tools. Cap relief. I can't find it on Puckpedia. Damn it.
I'm guessing 3.
It's somewhere. It's a lot.
I was reading the chat.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think 8 million minimum.
I think it's going to be 8 by 8.
Had the Oilers scored 2 more goals in Game 7, we'd all be applauded for signing a goalie for 8 by 8 who won a cup at 25 years old.
That's a great perspective.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just think people are maybe thinking, and I know Mulick was in earlier, and a couple other people were in and saying, you go 5 to 6 mil at most. You're not getting, unless I am grossly misreading this, but I think the people around the league who are detractors of Stuart Skinner are just doing it purely based off perception and vibes and not actually off his body of work, which is wildly impressive for a 25-year-old goalie. Also, goalies should traditionally age well.
Yeah, traditionally.
Like, I mean, Marc-Andre Fleury, if you want to talk about being judged in the playoffs, that dude lost his starting job in the playoffs to Matt Murray, was cast aside by one organization, won a Vezina, then was cast aside by another organization, then went to Minnesota and played 2 more years as a starting goalie.
Well, I think
and I'm not saying Skinner is Fleury, and I'm not like he's not a Hall of Fame or nothing like that. That's not what I'm saying. The point is, goalies can't, as much as they're voodoo, they can also be good into their late 30s.
Yeah, I mean, look at Bobrovsky. He was terrible the first 4 years of his contract, and in these last 2 years have been back-to-back finals.
Yeah,
I don't know, they're weird, but you got to pay them because they're so hard to get. There's a reason the others draft a goalie, and every team does this every single year. Because you might hit on 1 in 10.
The offer sheet would have been a first, a second, and a third. So again, a team would have had to be willing to give up assets for him. And that's the other weird thing with the goalies. Their trade value is never what you think it is.
No, which is interesting.
But I think part of it too is because teams generally make their bets. But I also think that might be why if Stuart Skinner were to hit unrestricted free agency, it's an interesting case.
Yeah. Agreed.
Maybe teams wouldn't pay him. Maybe teams would sit there and go, no, we'll hit the trade market. We'll get a guy for a second and a third and whatever. And hey, goalies have gotten to the point Skinner has and fallen off a little bit too. Like, I remember a point in time not that long ago when it was Mackenzie Blackwood. It was like, this guy is the future of Canadian goaltending. He's going to be so good. He played that one season, his first full year with the Devils. He had a .915 save percentage. And at that point, it was 5 years ago, he would have been 22. And it was like, here we go. And granted, heel injury, whatever, Devils weren't as good. He played 40 games last year for the Sharks, was average, but he never hit that level. So that's why I said, we need to see how this year goes. But I'm saying if those things I lined up, Skinner's top 10 in save percentage, very realistic. Skinner plays 50 games, pretty much a lock if he's healthy, or it is a lock if he's healthy. And if Skinner plays and plays well at the Four Nations, and he was going to playoff run, like all those things are likely to happen. There's going to be a conversation about Skinner being in the top 10, and that is going to come with him needing a massive payday.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.